Welcome, guys, to episode 6 of the Slightly Out Topic podcast.
Number 6.
Once again, Demonic, the homie Mario, and we are. It's gonna be a cool episode today because there's stuff flying around the United States,
and they have not confirmed it's not extraterrestrial.
Is it not extraterrestrials?
Yeah.
Who knows? Stay tuned. You might figure it out. You might find out yourself. Like, we're genuinely interested in knowing, but we're gonna talk about UFOs. We're gonna talk about another conspiracy, but the main one that I want to talk about right now, I'm sorry, I'm still getting over my sickness, is that has to do with it. So the main thing I want to talk about is in episode 4. Remember how we talked about Linkin Park and how they were doing a teaser about the Meteora?
Yeah, the Meteor release.
Yeah, the Meteor release. So
the re-release.
So what they ended up doing was they released a song which is called Lost.
Yeah.
And I heard it. So I heard the song. All right, and I'm not gonna lie, big Linkin Park fan. Yeah. I am. It was one of my bands growing up listening to. This is basically what got me into metal.
Right.
I still remember the top 2 songs that got me into new metal. Would you consider Korn new metal?
Yeah, I would consider them probably the founding fathers of new metal.
Yeah. Okay. So then you go. Yeah. So I remember me and my brother, we were watching the on Comcast. We were watching the top 20 countdown of rock. Right. Well, I'll tell you the top 3 songs that came on. Right. Number 3 was Nickelback, Save Me. Right? Okay, bro, I'm gonna punch you. All right. I am a Nickelback fan. All right. I
can't do it.
You only hate them because society tells you to hate them.
No, I only hate them because it's just the most generic, bland, tasteless, like I don't know how else to describe it.
That's why you hate Five Finger Death Punch also, right?
That's why I hate Five Finger Death Punch. Exactly.
Bro, they are good. If you want to listen to
Five Finger Death Punch is just Nickelback with distortion.
All right, listen to the Dark Horse album from Nickelback, and that's Nickelback with distortion.
Oh.
Bro, they're rock and roll. Like,
you're asking me to take a very big chance here.
I'm gonna show you some of the songs. You're gonna like it, and then you're gonna question your sexuality. I guarantee it.
Never. Not with Chad Kroeger.
Number 3 was Nickelback, Save Me. Number 2 was Korn, Coming Undone.
Yeah.
And number 1 was Linkin Park, In the End.
Beautiful.
And when I heard those songs, I was like, is this me now? I was like, did I find myself?
This is my identity now.
Right. And I still remember I ran to the kitchen and I got a piece of paper because I wanted to write these songs down. Right. Because back then, before all this, I used to listen to a lot of Pink Floyd, a lot of classic rock bands because my dad listened to a lot of classic rock, Pink Floyd, Queen, there's a band called Enigma.
Yeah.
I don't, you know who they are?
I know Enigma, yeah.
Damn, bro, nobody knows who Enigma is.
That's an old band too. I mean,
you just made me happy now.
Yeah, they're an old band. They've been around.
Damn. Whoa. You just blew my mind. Because everybody that I tell about Enigma doesn't understand who Enigma is. So I'm genuinely happy.
No, the new metal era. I was kind of right there with you. I'm just a little bit older than you. I was right there when it happened. It was mind blowing,
right,
to say the least. It was.
Right, because it was like, that's where I'm going. I listened to a lot of classic rock, and I also listened to a lot of basically old school hip hop, which is early Slim Shady, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube. I remember listening to all this, and then it's just the fact that I heard guitars with almost rap. Well, not with Korn, but with Linkin Park, you have Mike Shinoda rapping. So I'm like. This isn't supposed to go so good, but it went so good. So that was what spiraled me down into listening to metal. I still remember the first time that I listened to Rob Zombie.
Oh, nice.
Right. This was actually my first quote unquote metal band that I listened to, I still remember the CD because my dad bought it or brought it. I don't even know how he got a hold of this CD, but it was Rob Zombie's Past, Present, Future CD. So it had White Zombie, it had White Zombie, it had Rob Zombie, and then it had I think a few songs that he only released for that album. So, you know, Past, Present, Future.
Right.
You know, so I remember listening to Thunder Kiss 65, you know, More Human Than Human. And then I remember listening to Dracula for the first time from Rob Zombie.
Oh,
you know?
Dracula, yeah.
Yeah. So when I was listening to this, I'm like, is this what devil music sounds like? I got a headache.
Well, you know, had you ask any Hispanic mom at the time, they'd probably agree with you. Like, yeah, this is for
my
the
mom
devil.
definitely did not like that music.
No, I remember. So growing up, I only listened to whatever my mom listened to, which was Spanish music, and then my older siblings. Because out of 5, I'm number 4.
Okay.
And they were a lot older than me by like 8 years or so.
Wait, so you're number 4 down the line?
Yeah, I'm number 4 down the line.
Okay, because it was like 5, you said 5, you know.
Out of 5, I'm number 4.
Well, then again, no, yeah, okay. I thought about it dumb because I thought about it like, you know, number 5 being the oldest, and then
number 1 is the oldest. Well, I had to listen to whatever they listened to, and they were gangsters. F, you know, like that's all. So I grew up, and it was funny because I grew up listening to like Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh, I forgot about them. Yeah,
Tupac, Ice Cube, NWA, West Coast rap.
Oh, a little gangster Mario.
No, and I wasn't at all, right? Like I was just this dorky kid, but that's the only music I had access to at the time.
Right.
And then
something that wasn't banda music,
right? Because I didn't have a choice in what I listened to. It's like, well, my mom's in control of the radio.
Wake up Saturday mornings, listening to Los Bukis. You know, Los
we gotta clean. I gotta clean to Los Bukis.
Yeah.
No, and so what ended up happening was here locally we had this thing back in the day called Channel 34, The Box, which was a music channel where you can call in, pay like 99 cents, and they'll put your song on. It's like a jukebox.
All right.
And
that's a good way how to make money, suckers.
Well, and back in those days, if you didn't
don't they know what Spotify is?
This is like 1993. So no, and so somebody put on
93. I was barely born.
Yeah, I was already like 50. No, so one of the first songs I heard on the box that totally just melted my brain was Slipknot's "Wait and Bleed."
Okay. Yep.
So that was one of the first ones that was my first exposure to any type of rock or metal or anything with electric guitar, really.
Right.
Yeah, because it was mind blowing. It was life changing. I never looked back. I've been listening from that point forward. I was like, I need to know more. And then they would put on the music video for "Freak on a Leash."
Okay, yeah,
like, over and over again. So I got exposed to Korn, and then I got exposed to when I went to middle school. That's when Linkin Park came out.
Okay.
And bam, like it's like discovering music all over again.
Right.
You know, with what they did, and then System of a Down right after that, and it was just it was a great time.
Right.
In fact, it wasn't until I was in high school, like freshman year, that a friend of mine introduced me to a small band y'all might know called Metallica.
No way.
To that point, I'd never heard.
It's that band from the Upside Down.
Oh yeah, Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. There you go.
Stranger Things band.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, see, it took me all the way until there, just so you know how isolated and how in control my mother was of what we were exposed to.
Damn.
I did not listen to Metallica until, I was already in high school.
Well, I mean,
I went in reverse. I started with new metal, and I worked my way through the classic rock genre.
You know what's funny? I grew up with, so basically, like other than Spanish music was, classic rock and old school hip hop, right? So I started off on my rock style. It was basically classic rock, right? But then I jumped into new metal. I still remember the first time I ever listened to Slipknot. My first Slipknot song was Duality.
Oh, nice.
Duality was my first Slipknot song. And at first, I was that dumbass that I'm like, look, they're wearing a shirt. It's just,
The masks. Why are they wearing masks?
Right. I was being dumb. It was more like, boo, it's a dumb band, because like you see popular band shirts and you're like, you don't want to listen to them because, they're popular.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember this emo girl in middle school would always have Slipknot on. Always.
Like music playing?
No.
Clothes.
This is clothes.
Okay.
So she always had that S, and I just remember always seeing it. And then I finally read a shirt that she had and it said Slipknot. And I'm like, okay. And this is already when I was already digging into, like, the Comcast music, right? Where, I don't know if you remember, we can go down to the channels and then click like
on-demand music videos.
Yeah, and exactly. So then I remember seeing Slipknot Duality, right? And they turned it on, and all I hear is like, I push my fingers into my eyes.
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I'm like, okay. And then out of nowhere, he's like, right? Yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I like this. And then out of nowhere, rapping.
Yeah.
I was like, the hell? I was like, wait, what? And then, like, I was listening to the lyrics. It's like, with music, I relate a lot with the lyrics. So I judge a song by its lyrics. Right? That's why I can't do today's music or whatever music, like radio music. I can't do it because it's just pointless lyrics. Right?
Oh yeah, for most pop songs, it's pretty generic.
Right. Literally listen to any Nicki Minaj song, and it's just any Lil Wayne song. Obviously, well, not Lil Wayne then. Back then was good. Lil Wayne now, I don't know. I don't listen to him anymore. But so the Lil.
There's no T. Lil Wayne.
Bro, shut up.
I correct you.
So, like I said, I heard the lyrics and I was like, he's talking deep. I'm like, this guy's style of writing, he knows he's good. Like, he knows what he, like, it's just more to the words than just words, right? And then out of nowhere, like, he's like, all I see. Damn, how did I forget the lyrics already? Like, the where he's whispering, right? And then he goes like, and then just like, brings back the chorus again,
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, this is amazing, right? And the next song I listened to by Slipknot was Nameless.
Okay.
That one was like, holy shit. I'm like, damn, right? And I remember this was I Was the Meme, right? Where it says that that young you first hearing Slipknot, you're like, this is the most heaviest band in the world. Yeah. Little did I know, but
yeah, it wasn't until like probably my senior year when I was like, Norwegian death metal, what is that?
I can't listen to death metal. It's not even like, it's like, I can't do it.
So I understand a lot of people won't like it, and it makes sense. I mean, you can't understand what they're saying. It just kind of seems like they're just showing off, and the crazy sounds and voices that they make. I forget, somebody told me once, or I heard once, where you kind of got to think about it as when you're listening to the lyrics or to the voice of a musician, such as like the death metal people and the hardcore, like really like black metal people. It's like you're listening to another instrument.
Right, but then again, like I just finished saying,
you listen to the lyrics.
I listen to the lyrics.
I don't listen to the lyrics.
Okay, which is weird though, because Lorna Shore, right?
Yeah.
If I put on Lorna Shore right now, would you be able to understand the lyrics?
Very little.
Okay. Yeah. I can understand them, which is weird. I can't understand it. I can't understand this. And you're like,
those are instructions on how to file your taxes.
Right, literally, right? Yeah. Like, you're like,
TurboTax.
It doesn't even say TurboTax. Like, you can't. It's not audible. It's just like, they're just. I wouldn't even call them pig squeals, because like they're not pig squeals. They're just like lower levels of gutturals, like.
But I think once you get used to a certain musician or band or whatnot,
even they don't know what they're saying. I guarantee you.
Well, no, you start getting used to it, and you can start to differentiate where the words begins and ends, and so on and so forth. Because even with Metallica at the time, I was like, I don't understand what they're saying, but I'm having a good time, because for me the music from start to finish, when I first started listening to rock music, or metal music, this was 1995. 96. I didn't understand English super well.
Right.
It took me a while to get there.
You were the little Mexican kid.
I was a little Mexican kid, right? And so I'm listening to this. I'm like, oh, ¿qué es esto? It's nice. And so,
Mama, ¿qué es?
So I wasn't really focused on the lyrics. I was focused on the instrumentals, and
she's like, hijo, don't listen to that right there. She turns down, and like she is right there. You in that classic meme, where she looks. At first, you're just like, oh, good boy. And you're like, mommy, what is it? She's like, it's the devil music. Don't listen. And she looks back, and you're really all dressed up in band merch, and you're like, it's too late.
You got the white face with the black stripes going down like that.
Right.
So now I put lyrics second. For me, it was just the instrumentals and I was very impressed by what they were doing with their voice.
Right.
That's the way I approached it from the beginning.
Right.
And so it even carries on into now, where even today I don't really listen to too many lyrics especially for like metal bands, like hardcore heavy metal, like really heavy shit, like Lorna Shore. It's like I'm not really too concerned with with what the lyrics are exactly. I can understand some of it, and obviously the stuff that they say clearly, that's kind of like the punchline, what you really want to hear.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm very impressed with what Will Ramos,
yep.
what he was able to do with his
the demonic pig squeals.
Yeah, the end, the middle and the end.
Just the breakdowns, like I said, when I first introduced you to
melting.
Right, when I first introduced you to Lorna Shore, I remember. I don't know if you remember, but I told you that every single one of their vocalists has been from heavy to heavier to like you're literally the devil's like creature.
Yeah.
You know, Will Ramos, like
that was not human. What he was doing was out of this world. You should not be able to do that.
Right. Those pig squeals. Guys, listen to it. I don't remember the name of the song, which is
To the Hellfire.
To the Hellfire. Lorna Shore, To the Hellfire. The demonic pig squeals. All right. I'm not gonna try to do them right now because I only did it one time and I hurt my throat. So I'm not gonna do that now.
But your throat bleeding.
Literally, and I have to keep on talking for another 50-ish minutes. So I'm definitely.
So let me ask: are there any songs you remember listening to it for the first time, where you kind of just you hear the song that takes you back to that first time you heard it, that you can actually picture and remember I remember the first time hearing you showed me 100,000 songs.
Right.
I remember Lorna Shore. I remember where we were. Because
it's just like
it hit me that hard. I was that like amazed by it, and since that day, I probably listened to it like at least 100 times.
So in me, it is. I still remember, like I said, no matter what, in the end, when it comes on, I automatically go to the apartment that I lived in, sitting down on the rug with my brother, and my sister was still very small. And we just were watching it, and I saw it. You know, Linkin Park in the end, coming undone. Nickelback saved me. You know, the reason I like Nickelback so much is because once again, you know, like I like good vocalists. You know, and hate on him all you want. Like Chad has really good vocals. Like he has that almost country sounding vocals.
I'm not upset with his vocals.
It's just that you're the generic
composition.
Yeah, you're just generic about it, but then a lot of shit talking from a guy who doesn't listen to the lyrics.
Okay, but you're telling me the lyrics are super important to you, and you got Chad Kroger over here just listening, doing the whole freaking pop schematic for the entire song.
Which I understand and I get it, but like I'm saying, it's okay. It's
Look,
one of those guilty pleasure bands.
I'm mad at you. I love Lady Gaga, so can't really say much.
You
except I will say I hate
you just you voided your whole argument.
Guilty pleasure. We're allowed to have our guilty pleasures.
Okay, so mine is it's not even guilty pleasure. I don't care. I'll say it from like I'll shout it. I don't care. I love Nickelback. You know,
you'll shout that from the rooftop, and everybody on the ground floor will be like
pointing and laughing. They're like jump,
just jump already.
Another cool thing that I remember about Nickelback Save Me is the music video used to have, in the end, when it ended. Okay, so this is the reason why the Nickelback Save Me like got me, right? It's because I watched the music video. You obviously never seen it, right?
No.
Okay, the music video is basically people walking around and they have numbers counting down from their head, and this guy. So this guy can see the numbers. Like if I'm that guy, I'm watching you and you have numbers right here. This person right here has numbers. You have numbers above your head, right? And he's going crazy, like looking at the numbers, like trying to grab them, and like people looking at him weird. Then he realizes that he sees this old lady going into an ambulance, and the numbers are getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
It's like their time left.
Yes, and then 0. You know, and that's when he realizes that he can see people when they're going to die. Mm-hmm. So I only told you this now because I didn't want to ruin it from the beginning, but the beginning, he gets saved by somebody. You know, and this guy saves him and then looks at him and then just literally walks away. and he looks relieved, right? Then that's when he can start seeing the numbers. And then out of nowhere, he's looking around, and finally sees this woman that her numbers are getting low, right? And he's like looking around.
Was she
and
hot?
like, I don't remember.
I imagine she must have been. It's Nickelback.
It probably could have.
He didn't
been.
save the old lady, but he's gonna save this young one.
But this is early Nickelback, so it's anyway. So
I'm throwing you off.
yeah, so he goes, saves her from I think something falling or a car, whatever, and he goes, saves her, and then looks around and he's like, and just walks away. And then the lady's just looking around. And she's like, and then you look at him walking away, and now he has numbers on his head. So basically, the premise of the music video was like the curse was that you can see somebody gonna die, so you save them, and then you pass it on, But the lyrics, that it's just old school Nickelback had really good lyrics. I'm explaining this a lot, but that song, like the music video, really hit me. And at the end, I'm mad that they don't have it anymore. At the end, that song was a tribute to Dimebag Darrell. Because in the ending it said in loving memory of Dimebag Darrell, and that's where I found I already kind of knew who Pantera was because of my friend, but that's when I'm like, oh shit, that's cool,
Yeah.
Now they don't have it anymore. They suck.
Wait, did Dimebag die from an overdose or did he get shot?
He got shot.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, no, he that dude that went up to the stage and basically ended him right there.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, I think it was because he was a super fan of Pantera and then got mad that Dimebag went to what was the second band?
I have no idea.
I know my friend right now is like, if he's watching this, he's talking so much shit on me right now. Dimebag Darrell's second band, Damage Plan.
No, I haven't heard of him.
You never heard of Damage Plan? Mm-mm. I mean, nobody really has anyway. So, yeah. So, basically, all this long explanation of me saying that I finally listened to, and you finally also listened to Linkin Park's Lost, and within the first time hearing the chorus, I cried. Like it just, especially the lyrics. Once again, like I said, I'm a big lyric person. Like I listen to music in another level where like the lyrics really get to me. That's the reason why I love That's the reason why I like Linkin Park so much. But I remember listening to Lost, and the first time the chorus barely even came in, and like tears were already coming down my eyes. Like I couldn't. It's just like, especially knowing what he did. And the fact that like it's very hard listening to that song knowing what happened now. It's literally a cry for help.
And it makes sense because it's like obviously in a lot of musicians' musics they put their personal experiences in the lyrics, sort of not necessarily a cry for help, but sort of just this is who I am. Right. And with this song and knowing how it ended. Yeah, it just doesn't.
Another reason I think it hit me
doesn't feel good.
Right. I think another reason why it hit me really hard also was because, like I said, my childhood memories are new metal. It's basically Hybrid Theory, Meteora.
Yeah.
Why can't I say it? Meteora, Hybrid Theory, Meteora. Those were my CDs. Those were over and over and over and over. I would listen to it. Right.
Damn, I should have brought you my CD collection.
You should have.
I still have it. I never got rid of it.
Damn. Yeah. And then they went different routes, which the music was still good. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like admitting it, but I didn't listen to Linkin Park's new album when it came out. Mm-hmm. Because they came out with a song called Heavy, and I was like, cool, it's gonna be heavy. It was very pop. And I'm like, so I never listened to it. So to this day, I don't listen to that album. Now I don't listen to it because just listening to the song Heavy and now listening to One More Light, like it's, bro, the lyrics to One More Light, it's like, who cares if there's 1,000 stars in the sky? Who cares if one light burns out?
Yeah.
And then he says, I do, and it's basically saying, like even though you are going through something, like you may think nobody cares, and you're not right being here, but like he says, like who cares? There's millions of stars out there, who cares if one burns out, but somebody does care. And that person, you know, I do. And it's just so crazy because he's singing that and he's the light that went out.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. My firstborn, I think she understood my pain because
Did she see you upset or something?
No, so this is when she was still a baby, right? Like under 5 months, right?
Wow.
And
that's an infant.
Still, exactly, right? So I would put her to sleep by putting on Linkin Park, you know, and like the Linkin Park would put her to sleep. Anytime Heavy came on, start crying.
Oh,
she would just start crying. Yep. Like, so she'd start crying also to One More Light. Like, so I think she understood my pain, you know, but yeah, though, it sucks.
Well, like, I think that's true. I think, what a lot of, pediatricians and stuff say, you know, if you're angry, they can feel it. If you're sad, they can feel it. If you're happy, they can feel it. So, you don't have to communicate in any other way than just being there. Right. So if you were sad listening to that song, she probably felt it.
And it's you know what's I want to say funny, but it's not funny. But so when the song came on randomly because I had it on my phone and I was just playing Linkin Park and I just had it on shuffle. I was doing something in the background and that song came on, so I wasn't really paying attention to it, right? And then out of nowhere, I just hear her crying. And we were like, what the heck? Like, we were trying to, like, I got scared. I'm like, what happened? You know, like, I'm a newborn, first-time father. You know, I'm like, what's going on, right? I paused the song, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and then she stops crying. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, okay, cool. Like, you know, maybe she was probably hungry, whatever, you know, try to burp her, nothing, right? So put her down on her little swing, and then push play again, and walked away. And as soon as I started walking away, and as I pushed play, started crying again. And I'm like, really? I'm like, no, I don't think so. And then turned it off, stopped crying. And I'm like, wow, the song is making her cry.
Yeah,
and
she felt it too.
Literally with any other Linkin Park song, no, like she would go to sleep. You know, just these two songs, she would cry. And she would also cry to me singing Simple Man. So, not the Leonard Skinner version, the Shinedown version. Shinedown. Don't tell me you don't listen to Shinedown.
I've heard of them. I'm pretty sure I don't like them. I've heard of them.
I don't like you.
You have to.
No, yes, I don't like you.
Yes, you do.
Shinedown.
I'm going to convince you how terrible Shinedown is.
You like Lady Gaga.
Yeah, and that goes to show. That goes to show.
Shinedown. Bro, his voice is so powerful. Like, okay, go ahead. Go.
No, I mean, it's you're allowed to like music. I won't even say bad music. You're allowed to like music. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not good.
Okay, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. I get it.
Yeah, millions of people disagree with me that Shinedown is good.
No. You're the only one. You're literally the only one. I'm saying
millions of people will disagree with me and say Shinedown is good.
I thought you meant to say like they agree with you that they're bad. So I heard that wrong because I'm like right now blanked out with anger.
So. You're red with anger right now, with rage.
Right.
Well, no, I mean, so in my music journey, it was to nu metal for the longest, and then like I said, I went to high school, and I met a friend of mine, and he introduced me to Metallica, and then from there he introduced me to Santana. And then he introduced me to...
Carlos Santana?
Yeah, Carlos Santana. Then he introduced me... I mean, he just kept going and going. It was like every single day. He just kept showing me band after band after band. Like Leonard Skinner, you know, Led Zeppelin. And it would just go on Pantera. And
I put Carlos Santana... So, you know how I say I'm a big lyricist person, right? But I also feel the music, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you can feel Carlos Santana's guitar.
Yeah, for sure. Right? I mean, he doesn't have to say anything.
I put Carlos Santana right there with David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. Like, their guitar styles are like just... When Comfortably Numb plays the guitar solo, like, you feel it.
Yeah.
Same thing with Europa from Carlos Santana, you know, or While My Guitar Gently Weeps, or like literally any song that Carlos Santana is in, like, it's just instantly good. Like, he just has a way of talking through his guitar.
I mean, he had a 40-plus year career, so he was good.
Homeboy was playing with Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, he played at Woodstock with Jimi Hendrix, and I was in middle school, I think it was, when or freshman year with when Maria came out.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maria.
And so I was like, hey, listen to this guy. He's a pretty good guitar player. And he's like, I was like, this guy's pretty good guitar player. He's like, who? And I'm like, this guy from this song. He's like, that's Santana. I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, this guy's pretty good. And he's like, oh, you don't even know. And then just showed me the entire discography of Santana. And then he taught me how to play a few of his songs. And I was like, hey, this guy's just, he's smooth. It's like Latin jazz. It's just my favorite guitar player.
And like the songs where he literally doesn't sing because Carlos Santana doesn't sing in his music, in his music he doesn't sing. He like just the guitar.
Yeah,
like that is the singing for him.
It's like when they say you're making that guitar cry.
Right. No, like literally, like I said, like Europa. It's basically just there's no singing in it whatsoever, and it's just like the feeling of the guitar.
Yeah.
You know. So, like I said, you know, like I put him up there with David Gilmour. There's other guitarists that I really, really enjoy, like Stevie Ray Vai.
Yeah.
There's just a lot that know how to touch me in that kind of way, the way that my wife can't touch me like that.
No, she can touch other things, but not your soul.
Not my soul. All right. I don't care how much she says she loves me. No, like, I know who loves me.
And she can't love you as much as Carlos Santana's guitar.
Right, guys, check it out. Linkin Park Lost. It sucks. All right, I'm just gonna say that
not the song.
The song is extremely good, but just the emotional roller coaster that song is what sucked. And you know, all we ever wanted was to hear new metal Linkin Park again, and they gave us that, and I was not ready.
No,
not ready at all.
The song takes you back to 2003.
Right, literally.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing how I hope they still release more stuff. You know, it's not going to be the same, but I'm quote unquote ready for it. I'm really not, but I'm ready for it. You know, I just can't wait to see what they release now, what they're going to do with the band going on forward. Honestly, if they do come back to touring, I really don't think that they should have a second vocalist. You know, I think it should just be Mike Shinoda and the original members. You know, so
not even like a guest singer.
I don't, because you can't replace Chester.
Well, it's not about replacing. It's like more about paying homage to.
But even though you're deep down, you're gonna know it's not him.
No, I know. I mean, it's surface level. You're not gonna know it's him.
Right? I know. But like I'm saying, like I just want it to be like, you know, just I don't want another guest vocalist and or you know stepping in because it's a big. No matter what, I'm always gonna talk shit because you're not Chester, you know, and I'm just basically gonna not give you a chance. I know it sucks to say, you know, but leave Linkin Park how Linkin Park was.
Right.
You know,
well, because I mean, other musicians can probably do a good job, not emulating,
right,
but at least paying homage to their music.
It's basically the same way as if Corey Taylor was no longer in Slipknot and they got another person in, which is equally good as Corey Taylor, but he's not Corey Taylor.
Right, and I think something similar happened. Do you remember when the singer from Audioslave died?
Yes.
I forget his name. I can't think of his name right now. Well, when he died, for one of his songs, Serge Tankian from System of a Down actually performed one of his songs, and it's very different, you know, because he wasn't trying to do his voice.
Right.
He was just singing as Serge and doing it for the song. Chris Cornell. But it actually sounds pretty good. Which
was one of Chester's closest friends, and that's a lot of people are speculating that that's why he did what he did because of Chris Cornell. I mean,
or Mr.
you're already emotionally broken.
Yeah.
As a kid, you know, like look up the reasons why. I'm not gonna get into it, you know, because it's a very hard subject of why Chester was depressed, you know, and now one of your ultimately good friends passes away.
Yeah.
You know, like depression is a mental illness. A lot of people say that's basically like the end all be all that. It just happened. You know?
Yeah, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right. I remember this was really hard to watch. I remember when Linkin Park was going to sing for, I forget, the Mercedes thing that was on TV. They were going to sing the song Heavy. He decided not to sing the song Heavy. He decided to sing One More Light and paid tribute to Chris Cornell singing One More Light. And if you want to watch a really hard video of Chester trying so hard not to break down crying, you know, watch it. You know, it's hard. It really is hard.
No, that's I wouldn't watch that.
But. Yeah, and like it's just like you can tell it's hard. Like he doesn't even know what's going on because I think he messed up his song. you know, he messed up his song because he's basically like, you know, trying to hold it, you know, and it sucked. I mean, it is what it is now, you know. Once again, you know, guys, if anything is going on in your life, seek help. You know, you're not alone in your journey, even though you may not think about it. You know, you are you're worth being here. You know, not only to your family, to your friends, you know, but just for yourself in general. You will get through it. You know, just that's basically what I gotta say. Once again, it took a dark turn.
Yeah.
Like, but then again, you know, because
it's a dark subject. You know,
it really is.
It's a sad song.
With I mean, let's just go 180, and this is kind of art. No, not kind of art. Music is art.
Oh yeah, music is 100%
right.
art.
So it's the it may not be visual art, you know, but it's love to your ears. You know, not if you listen to Lady Gaga. Or if you listen to Doja Cat, you know, or whatever. Like, and I'm only saying this because there's a person that listens to our podcast that loves Doja Cat and loves Drake, you know, and he knows who he is. All right, so
Doja Cat.
So art. What do you consider art? Like, when you hear art, what do you think?
I think just creativity. You know, like it's just something that people do that brings enjoyment to everyone. You know, not just particular people, just everyone.
Is that really what you think about? Like, so when they say art, like, let's go to an art gallery, or just art. No, I mean
art in general.
Okay,
I'm not thinking just paintings or drawings. I'm thinking, you know, okay, music, movies, podcasts, and all kinds of sorts of things is technically
art.
This is creating something.
I'm Batman. I mean, I'm art.
Well, that's my general. You know, if I just in general, that's what I think. Art is.
All right. When I hear art, I just go into automatically paintings and drawings. Like, I know there's different forms of art, like comedy is an art, TV is an art, video, photography. You know, there's different kinds of art out there. But me, I just feel when I hear art, I automatically go to like Van Gogh. Another famous person. I'm not gonna name them because I don't know them. Da Vinci,
Picasso,
yeah, Leonardo, all the Ninja Turtles. You know,
that's true.
That's what I think about. You know, so I automatically go into drawing. You know, because I draw, I color. I don't paint. You know, but that's what I think about it.
Yeah.
You know? So
you know, some people say anime is not art.
They would be wrong and / right, only because I don't watch anime anymore, and I'm kind of sad that I don't, you know, but I mean,
don't grow up on me now.
You still watch anime?
No.
But you're talking about like old school anime.
No, so the last anime I watched was the Demon Slayer.
Okay.
That was the last time I watched anime.
I think I watched 1 minute of Demon Slayer, and then I didn't watch it anymore.
It was pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah, it was actually
I hear it's good.
Yeah, and of course the animation was amazing. You know, the fight scenes were badass.
Right.
So
I think the last anime that I watched was, I don't know if you know them or not. People might know them, but Soul Eater.
Oh yeah, Soul Eater.
Okay, that was legitimately the last anime I can remember saying that I watched more than 1 minute of. I think I watched I want to say maybe I watched a good amount of Soul Eater, and it's because my sister introduced me to them, you know, and I liked it, you know.
Yeah.
Now when I say I want to try to, like, I hardly even watch TV anymore. Like, the only TV I basically watch is like Live PD, you know, or the First 48, you know, and then I have my go-to shows. Like, when I get home, I don't even watch it, but it's just the background noise is basically Channel 6. You know, I watch The Simpsons and The Big Bang Theory, and that is just on.
Yeah, it's just background noise at that point.
You know, but
while you're cooking or doing something else.
Literally, and that's all I watch. Recently we just finished watching the half season of You, the new one that came on. Right now, I'm trying to get through Vikings, the new Vikings
on
Valhalla.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No, I have not. I've been wanting to see it, but it's hard to get started on something.
Okay, so watch Vikings, the first Vikings, with Ragnar Lothbrok. All right, it's so good.
Have you seen Yellowstone?
I have not.
It's a good show.
I should probably watch it.
It's it starts off pretty. You know, it's interesting from start to where it is now. And for me, it just kind of it starts to get crazier and crazier and crazier, like a soap opera.
Right.
Right. And I thought, never did I think like this show would go from, hey, this people are just raising cattle to, an explosion in somebody's office trying to murder someone for political reasons. I was like, did they jump the shark? I don't know. I'm still watching, so probably not.
I'm not gonna watch that until you watch Ozark.
I still haven't seen Ozark.
I know you haven't, and I'm mad at you. You watch it.
Now so Ozark is about a guy money laundering, right?
Yes.
You know what else is money laundering?
Segue? What?
Art. That's right.
I did not know we were going to talk about this.
I was going to segue. I will not acknowledge it. So
you're not going to acknowledge it?
I won't acknowledge the segue.
Bro, good. Let me have that.
So it's about, so I don't know what the show's about, but money laundering, right? Apparently.
There's many ways how to do it. You can give it to, I'm not going to say it, but you can give it to a certain country that's at war right now,
in my research, I was like, maybe I can do it too. I mean, it looks pretty interesting. I'm not going to. But it's...
This podcast is money laundering.
I'm going to take all my... dollar bills from the strip club. I'm not going to claim them on my taxes. So one of the things that people are doing...
do you get singles, or do they sometimes give you like a 5 if you do a good job?
Oh, for me personally?
Yeah.
I won't do anything less than a 10.
You won't do it for anything less than a 10?
No, you have to tip me a 10.
You have to...
I'm not going to jiggle in for less than 10.
So what if they give you a 5 though? Like, do you like slap them with it? There better be 2 5s? But like, do you slap them with it or something like?
I will need 2 5s, and they're going to be given to me at the same time. You can't give me 1 5 and another 5 later.
Oh, okay.
So 2 5s right away.
It would just be 5s then.
You can even give me 10 ones, but it has to be immediate.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to count. I'm not going to come back 10 times.
Right. Okay, I get you. So, damn, you know what you're worth then, huh?
Of course, I have my audience.
There you go. And you have an audience for a reason.
Well, no, the subject at hand. So I was looking up modern art because one of the things I've been hearing about on the internet is that modern art and criminals using it as a form of money laundering. Right? So
are they criminals or are they smart people?
So it's like half and half. So the criminals are just copying what the smart people are doing. Right? Because art at the end of the day is subjective, and the value of something, especially with art, is only based on what somebody is willing to spend.
Right.
Right. So I can say a banana taped to a wall, like that's art, and it's worth $3 million. As long as somebody buys it, that's worth $3 million.
Literally.
Sort of. Yeah. And it's like people have been doing this apparently for, a long time.
Did you ever watch on this certain channel, Adam Ruins Everything?
Oh yeah.
Did you see the episode he did about modern art?
I saw a clip that came out about modern art.
He talks about how it's basically there is no way how to price art.
Right.
And it's just like this national society of art, whatever, yada yada. Like even they have no way of pricing it.
Right. It's just what someone's willing to pay. I mean, this.
What are you willing to pay? Or how famous are you? Because in reality, that's really all it is. How famous are you?
Well, in the art world, the way it works is like somebody with status basically has to declare that your art is worthy.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's why you get that.
You can have a banana taped to a thing, and as long as you were already declared a up and coming artist or somebody that's worth their salt, then that banana taped to a wall will be $3 million.
Then that's how you can have that one painting if I can find, but I'm never gonna find because there's so many with lines. That one where it's just like a line. I think it's like a white line and two colors, and then like a white line in the middle, and they always come up with this bullshit excuse of why like that white line has so much meaning to it. It's like, oh, this is society and yada yada and this and that. Like, no, it's not.
Everybody's giving their interpretations.
Right. It's
like, oh, you just don't get it, man. You're a square, and
the square is art.
That square that there is actually a modern art piece, right? That it's just a white background and just a straight up dark black square.
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah. Well, from what I hear is that the reason that one became sort of famous wasn't because of the square and the painting itself. It was because where it was placed in the gallery or wherever it was placed in a place that was usually designated just for, I think it was like the Orthodox Christian belief or whatever. The religion. Right. And that was actually a crime against the state at the time. And so it's sort of a statement to like, kind of like, you're not going to tell us what we can and cannot do, I guess. And so that's why that painting made an impact. Just a square.
What kind of impact?
Well, where people were like, I want that painting. It was taken down. It was confiscated.
Was it a real impact?
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
Deep impact.
There's I'm trying to find it right now. There's a story about a guy that threw away. There's so many. There's
that guy that bought that Banks. You seen that guy that bought that Banksy painting, and it just went straight to the shredder as soon as he bought it. As soon as the auction was over.
No, I haven't seen that one. But right here on the Daily Mail, crumbs. Cleaner throws out broken biscuits lying on the floor at art gallery, unaware it was an installation worth $8,000. Little weird dollar sign. Like, oh man, that's not art, right? Come at me, bro. I don't care. That's not art.
Subjective.
That's not art. I don't care. Like, it is okay. Subjectiveness. I get it. It's a way of saying that you think you know what you're talking about, but you don't know shit.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna say it. I don't care. All right. A banana taped to the wall is not art. Biscuits on the ground is not art. The guy who
can be confused for trash, it's probably not great art.
I can understand the Campbell's tomato soup thing. That's art.
I think that was Andy Warhol.
Yeah, that's I would consider that art. But this.
But why?
This is art.
But I'm asking, why would you consider the Andy Warhol painting of a Campbell's soup can?
Because it was more of a cultural thing. Like, if I remember correctly, it was because I did look into it, like of it trying to be like, why is this art? Because I was genuinely curious. Because it's just a painting of a can of soup. But if I remember correctly, it was more like it was capturing an era, in a way, And plus, another reason why I kind of consider it art, and art. Right, the way I consider art is maybe because it's more pop cultural art, and it's more like it's an actual painting, so that's why I kind of consider it art.
What about sculptures?
I love sculptures.
It's not a painting.
Have you seen the statue that they recently put up for Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Oh, the weird demon statue thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That's creepy. I'm gonna Google that real quick.
Bro, how is that modern art? Like, we're gonna post a picture right here of that right there. But I don't modern art is, I don't know. I get it if you have a fetish for that. You're weird. But I prefer marble statues of the Greek gods and that headless, armless woman,
Yeah.
That it's just like that takes time, that is.
But that's so the effort, the time, is that what makes it art to you?
Well, that and the fact that it has to look good. Well, because once again, I'm using your argument against you. It's subjective.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But by saying it's subjective, is you're agreeing that whoever declares it art makes it art.
I'm declaring that I am right, they are wrong.
And you're allowed to do that, and vice versa.
No, vice versa. No, they're listening to this episode right here, so I'm the dictator here. All right, there is no freedom in this show. All right, what I say goes.
USA, we're all free. So that Ruth Bader Ginsburg statue is kind of creepy.
It's not kind of creepy. It is. How does that even represent her?
They gave an explanation. I'm not gonna go into it because it doesn't make sense to me. I looked it up and I was like, yeah, that's dumb.
Literally.
But again, maybe it's good. I'm not an art person.
The same people that called out art are the ones that called that Martin Luther King statue art.
I never denied that it was art. I'm denying that it's good art, in my opinion.
Right.
It looks weird.
We need to stop making these people think that throwing trash on the floor is art.
Like you just trying to convince them that we won't accept it anymore?
Literally. Well, even we don't accept it. No, normal people don't accept that. It's people that are laundering money that accept that as art.
Well, see, that's one of the reasons they, I suppose, that they would fight to keep that, by definition, being art.
How do they launder the money though through art? It's just like
what you do is you take your dirty money, you buy a piece of art, and then you're allowed to resell that art. And then once you sold the art, now that becomes clean money. Does that make sense?
In a way, like, so, because you use dirty money to buy something legitimate, that's the way how they got that money. The person that got that money is the legitimate money.
Right.
Even though it was dirty money from them.
Because they don't track where the money came from to buy the piece.
Right.
They want to know where the money's going after you purchase the piece.
Right.
So let's say I sold cocaine and I have, $20 million. Well, I better go buy a Picasso. So I'm going to go buy this Picasso painting. That person receives my $20 million. They're not asking where my $20 million came from. Now that they have the $20 million, they got to pay their taxes, do whatever they got to do after that. That's on them.
Right.
But now I have a Picasso.
Right.
I take this Picasso and I put it in, I guess they have these things called basically halfway points. There's some in Europe where if you're going to transport like a very expensive painting, collectible wine or whatever, you take it to this place and they hold it, and then the other person comes and picks it up at that place, or they ship it to that person.
So you need a middleman.
Right. A middleman does all this work.
So you have to have a middleman?
I think they're all preferred that you have a middleman because it's like a trusted thing, because you're not dealing with you're not selling a Honda. No. It's like you're selling them a used Honda.
You don't FedEx it?
No, you don't FedEx it. No, it's got to be handled by professionals.
I never knew that.
I think it's called a free port. It's like so basically it's what pirates used to use to make deals. Like if I'm a pirate, you're a pirate, and we want to trade something or sell something, we're going to meet up at this free port where we're going to be allowed to pretty much just make our deals without falling.
I have to.
But we can make our deals without being accosted by the police or authorities.
Okay,
and they still exist.
I get. Yeah, okay, I get what you mean there now, because believe it or not, in the United States, if you carry large amounts of money and the cops stop you, you have to prove that you're not using this money to buy drugs or doing all this, and they can legally take away your money.
Bro, when I was young, I used to just drive around town with my tax money in my pocket. I'd be like, hey, honey, you want to go buy a couch today? She's like, yeah, all right, let's go. And then we just drive around. Let's stop for lunch first. And then we never buy the couch. We just go eating and doing different things.
The thought of buying the couch is what got you guys hot.
Exactly. It was like, hey, now we're buying a couch. But so they use free ports to pretty much trade and do those kinds of things. And that's how you turn it into clean money. Now, that's not all they do. They can take that painting and artificially increase its value. So it's not illegal for you to take that painting, take it to an auction, and then to a public auction, and then when they're like, do I hear 20 million? And you're sitting in the back.
You're that person that spikes it up so the other person then buys it more.
21 and a half. And then you're also...
And then your dumbass buys your own painting for more.
No, and then...
when you lose.
And then the auction house also has a thing where it's like, you know what, they expect a certain commission.
Right.
So what they'll do is, if you're not there, what they'll do is if the bidding starts to die down just a little bit, just to keep the flow going, they'll point at some random thing in the room and say 20 million, 21 million, 22, do I hear 20? And look at that random thing, 23 million. I got 23 over here.
And the guy right next to you did that buy it right now?
It's like, it wasn't me, right?
Really?
No, and so they're allowed to do that, where they artificially increase the price, and then some sucker ends up buying a way overvalued piece.
What if the lamp bought it because nobody else bid for it?
Then it belongs to the lamp.
But then who buys it?
It never explained what happens when the plan goes south. Apparently, it doesn't go south very often.
You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna open up my own auction house, and I'm gonna point at that bottle of Jack Daniels, and I'm gonna be like, $10, and they're like, you said $1. So
well, then on top of that, right? Aside from money laundering, aside from artificially increasing the price of a painting, what you can also do is donate paintings as a way to get out of paying taxes.
1-800 cars for kids.
Yeah,
bro, that's money laundering.
Yeah. So what they do is It's like, okay, I have this art piece, right? Let's say it's a Da Vinci. Well, not Da Vinci. It's way too expensive. It's a very expensive painting, and it's worth, let's say, $30 million.
The original Mona Lisa.
Yeah, it's worth $30 million, right? I owe taxes. I owe, like $40 million or whatever. Well, I can take this $30 million painting. I can donate it to a museum, and then I can use that as a tax deduction towards the $40 million. But the way the government, quote unquote, has this under control is you have to get it appraised by a professional art dealer before you're allowed to do it, especially with this kind of money. So what you do is you get your friend who is a art dealer, and he'll come and look at the painting. He's like, your $30 million painting? He's like, here's $2 million. Here, take that. Oh, it's a $50 million painting. And just like that, now it's a $50 million painting. You give it to the museum. The museum is like, okay, we have a $50 million painting. Now you can take that $50 million towards your taxes, even though you only owe 40. But you're only allowed to do something up to like 30% or whatever. But so what happens to the remaining amount of money?
So the banana on the wall that costed $1 worth of banana and like 10 cents worth of duct tape can be 30 million.
That's why art. It's one solid investment.
So when the banana spoils, does your investment spoil too?
Maybe, or maybe it has even more meaning. Who knows? It's art.
It's modern art, so the banana
as long
spoiling,
as somebody appraises it at X value and somebody buys it at X value, it's worth that much.
The banana spoiling is a representation of society, how it was a perfect banana and then it started spoiling as corruption happened.
Let's take that example, this rotten banana, right? And I'm like, oh man, nobody's gonna buy a rotten banana. I go, hey, demonic, I got this rotten banana and I need some help. Can I sell it to you for $20 million? And then when you sell it back or you sell it somewhere else, and I'll artificially increase the price, and you'll be like, yeah, sure, why not? And then we both make money.
Instead, you screw me over and you never buy that banana back after I pay $20 million for it.
Well, I'm assuming these people have that kind of money. You're gonna want to not screw them over.
Right, exactly.
No, so you can do stuff like that, and it's and the remaining balance so you can only put like 20-30% of the value that you got for that painting towards that year's taxes. You can actually spread it out through 5 years.
Really?
So now you don't pay taxes next year. You can take another $10 million off the year after that, another $10 million off after that, off one painting.
This is making my head hurt.
It's insane.
Like, guys, just do money the right way.
And it doesn't end there. So there's one guy. He's famous for what he does is he goes and he's trying to collect all the Andy Warhol pieces. So he's buying every single last one he can find. And he'll go to auction houses, and if he doesn't win the auction, he doesn't care. Because he owns so many. It's like real estate. If we're neighbors and I sell my house, if we're both have $200,000 houses and I sell mine for $250,000, well, now yours is worth $250,000 as well, because we're neighbors, in the same neighborhood. So it kind of works the same way with paintings. If let's say this guy has a collection worth like $90 million, and there's this one single painting that sells for like $25-30 million, and he wasn't able to buy it, well, he still wins, because now that one painting sold for that much, it increased the value of the rest of his paintings. And he could have been sitting there, 18 million, 19 million, 20 million, 21 million, and just upping the price trying to get that guy to buy it. And if that guy doesn't buy it and he still ends up having to buy it for 25 million, he doesn't care, because it still increased the value of his other paintings.
All right, tell me the truth. You got screwed over, huh? You were trying to do this right here. This is how you know this much. Like, you got screwed over. Like,
all my NFTs tanked. Because NFTs is another thing. NFTs is just a modern version, and that's the way for poor people to get screwed.
Literally. And then they're like, oh my God, like, stop being mean to me. Like, I didn't know that this thing that I told all my people because I'm famous, and they believed me, and I wanted to sell this one unique picture, this one thing that I literally lost all interest as soon as I got the $3 million within 2 days, Yeah,
and then just let the value just tank after that.
NFTs, bro. Like, so in our other podcast, but me before you, preferences and references, we interviewed this guy that is into crypto and NFTs. What he said was that he believes NFTs are more for, they're a good way to get rid of Ticketmaster. You know, it's more of the band starts selling tickets as NFTs, and this proves that you're the owner of the ticket. Right. So now you can go into the venue to, you know, do your stuff, you know, watch the concert or whatever, you know.
Really?
So yeah, that's what they were saying, that a lot of people are.
Good luck, because Ticketmaster has contracts with those venues. That's
true, but I mean, this is a way how to, like, basically, you know, if you don't do a top venue, yeah, exactly, you know, like if you don't want to do like a big venue or whatever, you know, like small venues or whatever, you can still sell your own NFT ticket and you buy it, and that's your ticket,
right?
You know, like, and which is a good thing, because, you know, it's not inflated price. Bro, Ticketmaster is money laundering.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Because see how this guy just doesn't care if it sells for $25 million, if whether or not he buys it, it increases the price of all his other paintings. Ticketmaster doesn't care. As long as one person buys one ticket for $1,000, then they can justify the value of the rest of the tickets being $800, $900.
Right.
All it takes is one person. And to some people, $1,000 is not a lot of money.
Right. I mean, have you you know the band Rebelde?
I've heard of them, yeah.
So did you see that they are recently doing their tour?
Yeah, they're coming back.
Everywhere sold out.
Really?
Everywhere sold out. I was gonna buy my wife tickets.
She liked it?
She likes Rebelde. Like she loves them. Right? She grew up listening to them. Me, whatever.
No, you loved it too. Don't lie.
I literally, all I know is like 3 words of a song, and that's it. Like,
I don't think I've ever heard a single song.
You probably have. So the cheapest ticket is $280.
Jesus.
And it goes all the way up to, and don't quote me, but I'm probably not lying, $5,000.
Dang. Well, you know what?
All of them are sold out.
I believe you. My sister ended up buying Bad Bunny tickets last year.
That's where she messed up.
Yeah, it was expensive.
She just went to go see Bad Bunny.
No, and then my wife ended up buying tickets for her and my niece to go to a Justin Bieber concert. That was expensive.
That's where she messed up also.
Yeah.
How much were the tickets? Or you don't want to say?
I don't even remember. It was bad, though.
All you know, you had to work more overtime.
Yeah, it cost me overtime. That's what it was.
Damn, like that's the one thing about NFTs. Like I'm not into cryptocurrency either. Like I bought Doge because Daddy Elon said to the moon, and I jumped onto the train way too late and got screwed over, you know? So I really don't do I don't do crypto, I don't do NFTs. It's just it's too versatile of a market to, like, you know, it's too new of a market to, you know, invest in.
It's very volatile right now, the crypto market and the NFT market.
Right.
You know, but that's what they're saying is basically NFTs are going to be just the new way to screw over people and scam people, but it's going to be at a much smaller amount, but at a larger scale.
There's not that much regulations out there.
No.
Either. So people that get
even
screwed
for
over,
art, even for art trading, there's not that many regulations. You can get away with a lot of stuff trading art. You can. So let's say I bought it. So I have a Picasso painting. I bought it 10 years ago. I bought it for $10 million, and today it's worth $80 million. What I can do is take a loan out against the painting, borrow money against it, like $50 million.
Almost like you're trying to get a second mortgage.
Yeah, $50 million that I don't have to pay back.
Right.
I just have to, either the painting has to increase in that much value, or when I pass, they sell the painting and they get their money back. But that's also tax-free money.
Damn rich.
You don't pay any money on that. And the same goes for like really big stock portfolios.
Really?
Yeah, if you have a stock portfolio that's huge, you can borrow against it.
How many inches?
Like 11.
That's big.
That's why I said big.
Damn. Okay, that's big. Yeah.
Well, you can borrow against it, and because you can't tax debt, you basically just have free money.
Damn, that's
tax-free money.
This all makes my head hurt.
You can take that money and you can buy property, you can invest it, and you can do all kinds of. You can use that money to make more money. It keeps going.
Bro, this is way too much. Too much definitely for one episode, guys. So definitely check out the mini episode on the UFOs that's going to be dropping by Wednesday or Thursday. Because we don't have time to get into that right now. And with this, guys, thank you for listening to episode 6. Come back for the mini-sode because...
And look out for our NFT. Coming to a crypto thing near you.
It is me, Demonic, signing out. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.